Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Burgas in Bulgaria. Burgas, as you can see here, is located along the Black Sea coast. Actually, right here is the westernmost point in the Black Sea, as far west as you can go before you hit land. I think that's pretty neat. Burgas, the town here, is the main port of Bulgaria. The most famous coastal town would be Varna up here. You can see, yeah. But this is the most important economically for Bulgaria. That's the more tourism. This is the business. But there's lots of tourism here, actually. There's some really beautiful beaches, especially up here. This is Nessebar, and there's a really beautiful resort area nearby called Sunny Beach, and that has a lot of tourism as well. Before we talk about Nessebar, we have to mention a bit more geography. There are some really beautiful lakes nearby here. And we'll look at them on Google Earth, of course. Lots of salt pans along here as well. So some natural, some man-made lakes. There is a big, beautiful natural area down here called the Stronza Nature Park. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but doing my best here. I don't know any Bulgarian. But the area is all very beautiful, natural. And shares a border with Turkey down here. Alright, I think that was all the geography I wanted to mention. I think so. Let me grab my tablet. I'm going to show you the UNESCO site in this province, and it is the ancient city of Nessebar, which I've heard this pronounced a couple different ways. I'm just going to stick with Nessebar. It's probably different in Bulgarian, probably different in Turkish, probably different in British English even, so I'm just going with that. Nessebar. It says, situated on a rocky peninsula on the Black Sea, the more than 3,000-year-old site of Nessebar was originally a Thracian settlement called Menebria. At the beginning of the 6th century BCE, the city became a Greek colony. The city's remains, which date mostly from the Hellenistic period, include the Acropolis, a temple of Apollo, an agora, and a wall from the Thracian fortifications. Among other monuments, the Stara Mitropolia Basilica and the fortress date from the Middle Ages, when this was one of the most important Byzantine towns on the west coast of the Black Sea. Wooden houses built in the 19th century are typical of the Black Sea architecture of the period. So there are some really beautiful buildings in this town, as you can see here. A very famous ruin right in the middle. We'll look at all of them on Google Earth. They're pretty stunning. The other cool fact is that Nessebar allegedly has the highest amount of churches per capita. It's a very tiny little island community. There's a lot of churches there. I'd believe that fact. But all the churches are all old and beautiful. We'll take a look at them on Google Earth. There's better pictures there. But yeah, that is the ancient city. So going into history, kind of gave you a little preview there. This was originally a Thracian region here. It was very important for their trade, because you think Thrace, you think more of northern Greece, which is literally just Greece is right here, this yellow. So this would have been a big trading area, sailing around to the Mediterranean, back up to the Black Sea, and would eventually become a Greek region. And another interesting fact about Nessebar that I read was that it was one of the first places to mint coins. I'm sure that, lots of currency had been made, like throughout like Mesopotamia and such, but this was one of the first places where it was like minted. There was a building where the money was made. Interesting, I think. Old coins. Eventually, of course, this would turn into part of the Roman Empire. The original town of Burgas was established as a veteran town for former Roman soldiers to live comfortably on the shore. Not a bad place to retire. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Now, of course, the Roman Empire was divided to the Western and the Eastern Roman Empire. Eventually, the Eastern Roman Empire was known as the Byzantine Empire, which was situated right down here in what was then called Constantinople. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away, right? However, the Bulgarians were rising to power, and they often clashed with the Byzantines over this area throughout the 800s, 900s, until the 1300s. This area went back and forth between the Bulgarians and the Byzantines until the Ottomans put a stop to that. The Ottomans came in and conquered this region in the early 1400s. They actually wound up giving it back to the Byzantine Empire, but they would eventually conquer the Byzantine Empire not long after that, so it came under Ottoman rule regardless, and would remain under Ottoman control until 1878. After the Russo-Turkish War, one of the treaty stipulations was to give Bulgaria its independence. This area became part of Bulgaria not long after that. Burgos became more and more important. Not Burgos, that's Spain. Burgas became more and more important. Throughout the end of the 19th centuries, the railroad was developed and the port was developed, and tourism started to become a more achievable thing to more people. And it became the beautiful, bustling area it is today. Didn't really find much in the 20th century and 21st century, not even really that much like World War II stuff. The only real tidbit I found, which is quite sad, that occurred in 2012 here in Burgas, which I censor myself for YouTube reasons and relaxation reasons, we'd say that. There was a person here who would blow things up on purpose. In 2012, they went after a group of Israeli tourists. Very sad event, isn't it? No one should go through that. But that is essentially the history of this province. This loud car outside says that it's time to head over to the tablet and check out Google Earth, and I think I agree with this loud car driving by, being nice and loud at the middle of the night while I'm filming. So, now that they're gone, let's head over to the tablet, and we have to see lots of beautiful sights. There's so many slideshows here. Let's go check it out. Here we are in Burgas province. If you hear little kitten chirps, my kitten in the other room has found the tiniest spider I've ever seen, and she's trying to hunt it. So if you hear little burr, 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 that's her having the time of her life hunting a bug. But here we are zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here is Bulgaria. Here's the Black Sea, very easy to find on the globe, very distinct. Also, like one of the most consistently beautiful coastlines, I think, like the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, like all around, all of like the coastline, all throughout the Black Sea is just stunning. Beautiful, beautiful place in the world. Burgas is no exception. Let's check out the town here. You can see some of the lakes. There's Lake Burgas and Lake, that's a long name, Mandrensko, I hope. But here is the town. You can see the big port area there. More of like, the older town there you can see. Really the big main site, I think, here is here it is, the Sea Garden. Really like the Corniche, or as we say in San Francisco, the Embarcadero and beachy area along the shore where you can find neat little art. There's a hobbit house for some reason. A kindly man holding a bird. Looks like his hand's been shook a lot. And enjoy the gorgeous Black Sea. Beautiful gardens. Like I said, modern art, sculptures, a little chapel. And just an enjoyable place to relax and take in the sights. Also really neat up here. Look at these sand sculptures. There we go. This art always fascinates me. Creating all kinds of shapes in the sand. It's such a talent. Look at the mermaids, the dolphins, the sleepy elephant, the dragons, the religious figures, I guess. There's a puppy. Pretty cool. Wait, was that eight? Oh my gosh, it's venom. Goodness. All kinds of shapes in the sand there. But yeah, that's Burgas. If we go, we'll come back around. We'll go around clockwise. But over here we can see the Salt Museum in Pomoria. And see how salt is made in the salt pans. I guess salt isn't really made, it's like harvested, isn't it? I guess it's farmed. Look at this weird dragonfly. But yeah, all the tools of the trade needed to harvest the salt out of the water. Pretty cool. Salt's been one of the big industries in this area for like forever and ever. There's some more salt pans over here. But yeah. Let's head over to Nessebar, which you can see was an island. They made like this man-made bridge here to make it a peninsula. There's a windmill right here that's apparently iconic, but not iconic enough for someone to tag it. So just know that there's a windmill there. But we have to look at this right here. This is stunning. If it will let us. If the tag for it will pop up. Oh, there it was. Ancient city of Nessebar. And all of the old next to the new along the shore there. Look how beautiful this old church was. And a much newer one right there. There's also lots of neat modern art around. It's so pretty here. Such a gorgeous place to wander around. Look at the old ship. Wow. Wow, interesting. Yeah, this would be a really fun place to just like spend the day just walking around, like no plans. You can see all the churches popping up here. I think like, let's see. I think this is an interesting one. Yeah, that's that old one we've seen. This beautiful town. These beautiful homes, like it was mentioning, the 19th century homes, Ottoman style. I mentioned it in yesterday's video, how they like the little pop-outs. The little terraced areas. That's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's so detailed. Look at all the wall art as well. Just painting right on the rocks. But yeah, like this kind of boxy pop-out style. Very Ottoman styled. There's a museum right here. It's another church. It's this old pretty one here. We'll just kind of cruise through, see if there's anything interesting to look at, because this picture's really pretty. The old ruins there. Yeah, because there's a lot of churches here. And they're all quite beautiful. As always, I highly encourage you to poke around these places yourself. There's so many slideshows buried deep in this little town. You can look at the art and the more natural sights around here. It's all stunning, but there's like a lot I want to show you, so we might come back around. Marine aquarium. There's so much to see in this province. Over here is Sunny Beach, and it definitely has a very sunny beach, doesn't it? Let's just tab this. Take a look. Gorgeous. You know me, I love a good beach. I love a good swim. I've been swimming so much this summer now that I live in a lake town. I can go swimming in the lake. I have a community pool. I can go swimming in the pool. Look at that autumn style pop out there. I've been swimming so much. I love swimming. I love being in water. I love baths. I love hot tubs. I love being in water. Swimming is very much my thing. I would be in heaven here. Panorama. Let's see real quick. My tummy's been making all kinds of noises. Goodness. But yeah, look at the hills nearby. We're gonna look at some more. It's so green and the water's so blue. Oh, it's lovely. A lovely place to be. Alright, let's check out some more. I'm gonna put the borders back up. I can see it there, but it's always much easier to see it when it's highlighted. So we're going to head out here and see what we can find. Again, I've like poked around here and found all kinds of neat little slideshows. I'm just trying to remember which ones are my favorite. You can see all the farmland here. There's the border with Turkey. Okay. If we poke around here, you can see I found all of these different little sites, but they're in Bulgarian, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. But something old was here, an old house of some kind, taken over by the forest. I know there's some World War II, I guess kind of like bunkers around here. But it's mostly just beautiful stuff like this. Like, what's that? I don't know. I don't know enough Bulgarian to translate all of this. But there's like so many neat little natural slideshows, and of course none of them are popping up. Let's see what this is. It's that. That looks like a monastery. Whoa. Out here in the countryside. So pretty. Look at that quaint little town. Let's see this. There's no pictures there. That's unfortunate. Let's head down to this area here. You can see the nature park. And here it's so stunning. Look at that. Gorgeous. Of course, along the coast as well. There's Turkey just across the way. Beautiful waterfalls. I found a bunch of different waterfall slideshows. Maybe that's the point in the Black Sea. I don't know. But yeah, this area is just something else. Look at this old building. It's all made of wood. Is it, or is it stone? It looks like wood. Looks like wood. Oh, look at that water. Oh, it's so inviting. All those fun waves, terrifying caves, and very quaint old buildings as well. Yeah, I've had some fun poking around here. Thracian Sanctuary. Let's see some old ruins here. Not quite sure what we're looking at here, but it's pretty neat. I love all the moss. Interesting. Something is here. It's very pretty. And this is some beautiful forest. I guess there's some religious sites here as well. Maybe little places to pray, I'm not sure. Here's a waterfall. Looks like it's just shooting out there. This is beautiful. Out of like all the research I did in this region, there was not really anything talking about this stunning countryside forest landscape. I wouldn't have known at all if I hadn't poked around on Google Earth and seen all of this. Like, nothing talks about this. It's all beach, beach, beach. Black Sea coast. Nothing about the beautiful woods here. So overrated. Yeah, I went and peeked and I saw a town here. I was like, they've got to have something delineating the border. And look, I'm sure these are Bulgarian flag, Turkish flag there, right? But yeah, we can. Oh, I wonder if there's a picture here. Don't know what that says. Just in Cyrillic. Oh, wow, my gosh, so beautiful. There's the Bulgarian flag right there. And then I think we can see the Turkish right there. I think. I wish Google Earth would let me zoom in on photos like it used to. It does not anymore. Very tragic. I used to be able to, like, read little signs, you know, if it had information on it. Oh well, I could still appreciate these gorgeous photos. Yeah, that looks like the Turkish flag there and the Bulgarian flag there. It's so pretty. Look at this green. Oh, wow. That is a beautiful color. It's almost like Ireland, isn't it? And there's all these different beaches and campsites. All the photos are beautiful. Let's see what this is. More gorgeous coastline and some neat rocks. You know how I feel about neat rocks. I love a good neat rock. Stone ships. Please be more neat rocks. Neat rocks, neat rocks. Yeah, look at big ships. Very cool. Oh wow, that's so cool. Look at that. Yeah, if I showed you a picture, this picture, and said, where is this? You would say, I don't know, Scotland, Ireland, you know, maybe even like New England. Nope. Bulgaria. So pretty. Let me see. I'm trying to remember if there's any like good slideshows, but they're all good. Let's look at this real quick, even though it's going to be a more beautiful shoreline. Yep. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, look at pretty. That's a nice photo. Alright. I have to remember why I wanted to show you down here. I just remembered I wanted to. Let me see. Before we head back to rock formation. What did I want to show you over here? Oh, I wanted to show you stuff up in Sozopol. That was the rock formation, Muslin Nose. I think I did look at this. Let's see. I think it's supposed to look like someone. Can you see the face there? It's like a little hat. I think. I don't know. That's what I see anyway. What did I want to show you up here? I did want to show you that fortress. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, fortress stuff. So I assume these would be Byzantine or probably Bulgarian, but it could also be Ottoman, right? But I assume that these walls are from, I would guess, the Byzantine times. Trying to protect this area from invasion. Let's look at the other fortress. See if that'll give us any clues. Up here. Oh, there's an upside down house. I'll show you that real quick. Akara Fortress. Yeah, see, look. It's very old-timey. Like a medieval style fortress. Just probably from those conflicts between Bulgaria and the Byzantines. There were a lot of battles. Some of them fought in this province. But, yeah, this area went back and forth between the two powers for quite a bit until the Ottomans just nipped that in the bud. Just conquered both of them. Here's an upside down house. It's an upside down, even the car is upside down. It's the house is upside down. That's cool. But yeah, as always, I highly, highly encourage you to check out this area in your own spare time. We're back in Burgos there. Burgas. I keep saying Burgos. That's in Spain. Goodness. Let's find one more slideshow to end the video. Let's find something fun and random. Let's look at the lakes here. Eco Park. Let's see what we have here while I close out the video. Oh, pretty birdhouse. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Cute doors. Next, donkeys, wait, sweet. Next we're going to Austria. My first video in this series in Austria. We're going to check out a lesser known corner of Austria that isn't really talked about when it comes to Austrian history. It's not very typically Austrian. But we are going to see some beautiful castles there and another UNESCO site. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you're still awake, not asleep yet. Hit that thumbs up button. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. I meant to say it's easy to find this place on the map because you can find this big dent in the Black Sea there.